Presentation on Lev Vygotsky and Benjamin Bloom, Sociocultural Theory of Cognitive Development, Bloom's Taxonomy of Learning, University of the People, Course EDUC 5410, Child Development, Dr. Samuel Ampansa, December 23, 2020. Vygotsky and Bloom theorized how people learn. Vygotsky developed the sociocultural theory, which emphasizes language as the catalyst for learning. Bloom, a taxonomy, which classified levels of learning from lower-level memorization to the highest, creating. Vygotsky's best quality was to see the value of culture in learning, key to culturally responsive teaching and other best teaching practices today. His worst quality? Not valuing cultures equally, seeing non-Western cultures as more primitive, needing interventions to advance. Vygotsky showed integrity by sticking by his theories after being dismissed for not fitting into the ideology of the time in Russia after its revolution. He deserves respect for his theories, which help students today, including the importance of being challenged within the zone of proximal development. Vygotsky said, "What a child can do in cooperation today, he can do alone tomorrow." This means collaborative learning helps a child learn with scaffolding. That's getting help from peers and the teacher. Soon, scaffolding's removed and the child performs the skill themselves. 3 words to describe Vygotsky are language, social, culture. Language because it's the catalyst for learning, social because learning comes from social interaction, culture because language is developed through culture and creates the context for learning. A value of Vygotsky is his sociocultural theory of cognitive development, linking student, culture, and social context. It highlights the value of a more knowledgeable other to transmit and scaffold learning within a child's zone of proximal development, their sweet spot for understanding. The justification for Vygotsky being right is that his findings from almost 100 years ago inform classroom practice today all over the world. Teachers create context for social learning, provide scaffolding for instruction, and value student culture as a focus. Bloom's most admirable quality was his optimism, commitment to education, and desire to help students reach their utmost potential of learning by figuring out how to promote higher levels of thinking through his taxonomy and mastery learning. He believed education the way to reach one's human potential. Bloom's least admirable quality was identifying some skills in the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domains as more difficult and more important than others. The way he organized these skills is an artificial way of looking at them and learning, as in real life they're used in concert with each other. Bloom showed integrity by advocating for young children and promoting the U.S. Head Start program for them, still in existence today. Bloom is respected for his work on his taxonomy or classification of hierarchical learning and the theory of mastery learning, believing everyone can learn. Bloom said, "Education must be increasingly concerned about the fullest development of all children and youth, and it will be the responsibility of the schools to see learning conditions which will enable each individual to reach the highest level of learning possible." A value of Bloom is his belief that there's a responsibility to design learning and learning environments for all children. Mastery learning was designed so all students could meet curricular goals. Also, Bloom valued talent, and in his research found it comes mostly with the help of expert teachers and practice. Bloom was right to define learning outcomes and promote assessment models based on students' cognitive levels. His taxonomy of hierarchical thinking impacted the field of education and has a major influence on curriculum assessment and instruction today, charging teachers to create classroom experiences with critical thinking. 3 words that describe Bloom. Visionary, from Bloom's unique vision illustrated by his taxonomy and mastering learning models. Critical, from Bloom's detailed and specific framework he presented to the world. Influencer, as he influenced generations of educators worldwide. A quality that best exemplifies Bloom was his ability to organize ideas with the learning classification systems he designed, and through leadership and organization of international conferences impacting the nation and world with these systems and other research findings, bringing best practices to educators everywhere. Both theories are important still and focus on cognitive development. Vygotsky's ZPD intersects with Bloom's taxonomy domains. Language is key. The child's an active learner. Differences are in how they believe a child can learn. Bloom thought there's also nonverbal learning, not Vygotsky. Vygotsky's and Bloom's ethics were in valuing education. They saw the value in assisting children with expert teachers and the value in social learning and physical environment on learning. They cared about children and helping them learn by researching cognition. Their findings are still considered best practice today. Vygotsky and Bloom lived disparate lives, with Vygotsky's research being ignored in Russia, his death at 37, and his research only being discovered and appreciated years after his death. Bloom's research was recognized in his time, and he enjoyed professional success. Both efforts impact schools today. Reference page.